Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy freaking Monday.
Yep.
I'm a sore bitch. Literally working on the farm this week, and Peyton came over and helped. We had to hook up a come along to my gazebo and straighten it back out because my whole farm, Adislat Farms, literally slants towards my creek. So it was slowly falling over. So we had to do that. And then I spent the last 2 days rebuilding fences, digging fucking holes, putting it was a fucking beating. I am
Remember,
sore.
you chose this life.
100%.
Okay.
And I actually saw Peyton do like manual labor for once. I mean, it was
Yeah. And I want to note that all of the work we did was OSHA approved. Absolutely. It was taken the whole way.
100%.
I promise nothing we did was sketchy as hell, like standing up on a freaking ladder, dangling off of like rafters and shit. It was hard hats, goggles. It was perfect.
Whole nine. Yeah. And just like the government, we had 4 dudes watching while one dude did the work most of the time. And
Yes.
here we go, sitting there waiting for him.
Sounds like you're here in Detroit.
It was
Construction
awesome.
here in Dallas sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw of course, it's some other country. They have a movable freeway. So when they do construction, like on freeways and stuff, they drive the secondary freeway in that people drive over, and all the construction happens underneath it. I'm like, why do all the other countries got all the cool shit?
That's brilliant.
Right? They totally shut down roads here in Texas because we're inevitably going to live in construction for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
Other countries build things that go over the top of the road. Jessica, I saw briefly on a post I was skimming through that you busted your ass. Fell this weekend.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I learned how to fall again at the age of 38. I learned how to fall. We went bouldering. Bouldering, it's called bouldering. So instead of being rock wall climbing where you're tied to harnesses, it's just free climbing on walls. And so trying to get my daughter active in something, and she's like a Spider-Man on the walls, and I'm over here hauling myself up.
Well, she's a spider monkey, and you're I'm not even gonna throw it.
Don't touch it. What about Christmas? How was Christmas for everyone?
Well, for me, it was shitty. I shared with you guys in the pre-show, man. Christmas was actually really good. I enjoyed my family. Everything was wonderful, but I had a bad stomach bug. It was rough.
So it was literally
it was shitty.
And that's the way we started Monday.
So I have in my LinkedIn profile Jim Henson admirer. So every once in a while I get messages about that. This year, Donnie got me a Muppet, kind of. I've got this cracked out little Muppet next to me today. This is what I get.
Going through Canton first. Do what?
Let's say we watch the Muppet Christmas Carol every Christmas Eve. It is my husband's tradition, and it scares the crap out of my children. Always has. Nobody likes it, but because it's their tradition, we have no choice. We watch it every year.
They don't like it, and you force them to watch it, or they want to.
You know what? Just go to the next round and watch Wizard of Oz, because fuck those monkeys. I hate those stupid ass monkeys. They're the worst.
So, Peyton, does this thing have a name yet? Have you named it?
No. Well, we kind of said it looked like Sid the Sloth. It's like a cracked out Muppet Sid the Sloth looking thing. I don't know what this thing is, so I'm going to post it on LinkedIn and see if anybody has any good ideas or good names for it. I have no idea.
I was walking through a trade, like a Canton First Monday trade days thing Elizabeth and I were, and this stupid thing was hanging from a rack. And I'm like, I'm buying that for Peyton because I heard he liked Muppets. And literally, I go up and a gal goes, "This is my last one I have." I said, "Okay." I'm like, "I'd like to buy that." And she goes, "But it's my last one." I said, "I don't understand why you keep telling me it's your last one. Are you here to make money or not?" And Elizabeth's kind of giving me the side eye. And I was like, "I will take that one." And she finally reluctantly pulled it down. She's like, "But that's my display." I'm like, "Thank you very much."
Order another one.
You are here to sell stuff, right?
Maybe she needs to come on the show and get some business advice.
Step number 1, sell your inventory.
I literally had a woman take a shirt off of a mannequin for me yesterday because I wanted to buy it. It was their last one. And I was like, "That's the one I want for New Year's Eve." She's like, did you want me to take it off the mannequin? I was like, yes,
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Yes. Literally rips
Yeah.
the arms off right there.
What part of I want to buy the fucking thing do you not understand?
Yeah.
Give it to me. That's what I want. I will pay for it. Here's the money. Give it here.
Right. Order another one.
But yeah, so we do funnies every year for Christmas, and when nobody drew names, I told everybody to give me Peyton because that's the fucking puppet I got him for, and it's a marionette, so it actually like walks around and shit.
Walking around.
So,
New YouTube channel, Peyton. You and your
The
Muppet.
dogs.
Right.
Oh, the dogs hate it. Like they
Oh,
are
that's-
terrified of it, rightfully so, because that thing is terrifying to me. So
I
yeah,
thought
we'll
it
see
looked
how
just
long.
like
it
you.
lasts. Oh, thanks.
Well, our dog gets scared of the little elf that flies around the house for Christmas. Yeah, so
What?
several times, like the elf
Elf
on
on
the
the
Elf on
shelf.
the shelf?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'd
Oh.
put it. I had it ziplining, and one day I walk out and he's like growling at it, trying to eat it.
That's awesome.
Damn.
That's awesome.
There are
Yeah.
some really creative elf on the shelf things out there. Like, if you guys watch any of the YouTube, or the-
Yes.
Oh yeah.
like, man, there's some good stuff out there. It's funny.
Luckily, I
My-
don't have kids because Lord knows I should never
Okay,
reproduce.
my husband started that tradition, so it's his job.
Good
Yep.
plan.
Same. I
Yeah.
want nothing to do with it. I just want to observe the aftermath.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really cool that other people do it. I would never.
I've
I'm
seen
with
ones
you.
where it's like, this is the day that Dad took over Elf on the Shelf, and this elf is like face down in a line of flour. And it looks like
all the
everyone
naked
laughs.
Barbies everywhere and shit.
Yeah. This is the first and only time that Dad will ever do the Elf on the Shelf.
I saw
Every
one.
day
Where,
in our house, our husband takes over the shelf, but it's fun because Alice is old enough now that she knows Santa, and so now she wants in on the games, and she's coming up with ideas. So she filled our
That's fun.
bathtub with sprinkles one time. So
Oh,
I saw one where they
Very
lined up
nice mom.
an elf and two other figurines, and they put a hole right in front of where their penis should go, and there's a hot dog going through one, like a pretzel
that
going
one.
through another. I'm like, people are crazier than
Yeah.
I am. So, all right, P, let's
And
play
on
that
that
game.
On that note,
all right. Today we're gonna use all of our brain cells together
Oh,
as a
no.
team and try and do Wordle.
So all
And I am-
17 ready.
All 17 brain cells. Let's see if we can get them all working together, guys.
Gosh.
Anybody have a first word? I know I like to go audio as my first word, but I'm a tech guy, and I think it uses a lot of vowels right off rip.
for the math
Audio, I
people
think,
in the
is a good
room, how do you play Wordle? I've never played.
Okay, so for example, I'll type in audio. We're trying to figure out what the 5-letter word of the day is, and so I'll hit enter, and it'll give us yellow if it's in the word but in the wrong spot, and green if that letter is in the correct spot.
Gotcha.
And so we know there's
Idiots.
an I in it somewhere.
Idiot.
There's no O though.
Idiot.
Oh,
There is no
can't
O.
work. Yeah, it can't work.
Like no A is
Dildo. That won't fit. Oh, it will
There's
fit.
no D.
There's no D.
There's no D.
No D, no
Oh.
O. I don't think Donnie gets how this works.
Johnny
He's
only
just
knows
coming
so
up
many
with a
words.
list of 5-letter words he can say.
Uh-huh. Like I'm wondering if Donnie's gonna say tramp, but there's no A in there.
What about trick?
TRICK. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Oh, look at that
Oh.
shit.
There we go.
Fucking who doesn't know how to play this game? Kiss my ass.
Like PRI, but then it's like
Price.
Is it prick?
no, because the C's not in the same spot.
Right.
C is in the exact same spot.
Well, the
raise.
yellow means that C isn't there. What'd you say, Donnie?
The
Uh,
C,
or
would
you
you say-
can't put the C there.
Right.
Raise. RAISE.
No, because the I. Oh yeah.
Oh,
R and
yeah,
I are
Uh,
Yeah, the A. There's no way.
right.
R is
R
in
has
the
to be there, yeah.
so we know it's XRIXX, but there's a C
But
in
one of
one of
those
these.
is C.
Yeah.
Crimp.
Crisp.
Trip.
Pride.
Yeah.
Pride. CRIED. No, there's no D. No D. Nope.
CRISP.
Cries?
SP. No, SP.
Crisp.
Crisp.
Oh,
Ooh.
fuck.
Oh,
Crimp with an M.
Crimp.
Yeah.
Like crimp your
Look
hair.
at
Yeah.
There it
that.
is.
There you go.
Look at
There you
that
go.
shit.
Let's do.
Wow.
Let's run another one. Let's see how awake we can. How much faster we can do this one a second time. We'll start with crimp.
Oh shit.
Hey,
Oh,
not bad.
it's not an I though.
Crate.
Crawl.
Ooh, crate is good. We'll try crawl. All right, not
Mhm.
crate. So no crawl.
No
Create.
crawl.
No, can't be create. Can't be create.
Uh,
Cream. Nope, can't be cream.
okay.
No A. Yeah, no A.
no
Hmm.
M either.
CRE or CR something E.
Creed. CREED.
Oh, double E would be cool.
Oh.
No double E. But we know it's in the right spot.
Crepe. Nope. It's only can't.
Yeah,
P.
no.
No P.
No P and only one E in this one.
Crest. Nope, no T. No T.
T.
Yeah. Crest is a
I'm
good one.
crimping
Though.
my hair right now. What he says. Nice. Morning, Woody. Can't be Creole.
I was
Creole.
thinking Creole, but
There's an E on the end, though.
yeah, that's what I thought.
No.
ChatGPT, give me 5-letter words.
I know we know it's not crest. Oh God. Okay.
This is why I don't play these kinds of games.
Oh.
Realm. Crow.
Because I do okay, and then I like lose track of where it is, and then I can't figure it out.
Crash. Crash isn't a word, is it? No. This is whenever I just go mad and I just try a bunch of letters,
Right?
and it's like that's not a word. And I'm like, all right, next letter. That's not a word. Okay, next letter. Crest. I know it's not crest, but I'm gonna see if there's an S in it. I guess. Oh,
Oh. Crease? Can you, no, can I with me? I don't even know how to spell. Crest,
what? What?
Crezel,
Crezel.
Cresel?
Crezel.
Creso?
I have no idea here.
I don't know. What about you? No. All right. How many other letters we got? Cressel?
Double S.
Double S, maybe?
Double S Cress. Yeah. it's
What is? I
fucking
don't know. Crest. I have no idea.
God,
Hayden,
Bernie.
your game is dumb. A plant of the cabbage family, typically having small white flowers, pungent leaves.
Oh, Serena got it.
It looks like like sprouts.
Oh.
Interesting. What do you think? One more?
Yeah, one more.
Y'all,
Okay.
I haven't even had a whole cup of coffee. You're killing me.
You're working on it. We'll start with Cress again.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Has an E.
An E.
Eeyore.
Huh?
Got 5 letters.
Top 5.
Apple.
Apple.
Oh,
E's in the
got the
right
E in the
spot.
right
Right spot.
Okay, I
And-
contribute. I'm out.
And yeah, and my brain turned off. I don't get anything else.
There. Oh no, there's no R. No.
Yeah. Bear?
No A.
No A.
No A.
Yeah, let's do one more, they said.
This is good. This is good, guys.
Do audio and see if any of the other letters are in it.
Oh, if I could spell it.
Yeah, that would help. Okay.
Oh, E, I, and O.
Yeah. IE is the N though.
Yeah.
O is somewhere else.
No.
Moxie.
I was just thinking that. I have a funny story about Moxie, by the way.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Movie.
Movie. Good
Movie.
job.
There we go.
There it is.
We were faster that time.
We were getting better. You know what? I'm proud of that one at the end. It took us a while to think of anything, but we got there. So, you know what? Small victories. I'll take it.
There you go.
Roll that footage, Pete.
This is Alison Simmons, business manager and strategic implementer. Seeking seasoned online business owners who no longer think being their own boss is as fun as they thought it would be, and they need support sustaining and scaling their business. Alison Simmons helps to organize their back-of-house operations so that they can scale it, all while using AI. Today, she gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Alison, welcome to the show. Bright and early, sitting in the comfort of your husband's pickup truck.
In the dark.
Yeah, right. 6 o'clock in the morning out there in old California. Oh, you've been a guest on the show before, so it'll be fun to have you back. So introduce us to who the hell you are. And I think, how can we help? But I have a feeling you're going to throw us a curveball.
Oh, listen, I'm coming in on the clutch because Peyton literally messaged me on Christmas Day and was like, hey, our person on Monday can't make it. Can you fill in? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm flattered that you asked. Like, awesome. Could I just tell you, would we just look at the shadow of my glasses? I look like I have eyebrows that are going.
You're slowly becoming Catwoman.
Like, maybe I should have the flashlight. Y'all, this is ugly. The things I do for SCN. But anyway, so I was like, okay, what would I ask if I could get back on? The first time I was on, if y'all remember, it was right after I joined SCN, and my business, I felt like I was sitting on the launch pad, shaking, getting ready to explode off the launch pad, but I wasn't there just yet. And I asked you guys for advice, like red flags. Like if my business, when my business takes off, what are the red flags that I am trying to see and avoid beforehand? And y'all gave me some really great advice. So the business did actually take off. And so I'm going to answer my question that's going to lead to the hot seat after I turn the tables and ask you the question so that you all have to answer it first. And then we'll get to me and my question and my hot seat. But here's the question that's all going to be, it's perfect for the last episode of 2024. If you could go back to January 2024, what is one thing that you would say to that person, knowing what you know about 2024 at this point? Would it be some advice, a warning, encouragement, anything? What's the one thing you would say to your January 2024 self, knowing what you know now about how the year went? Not that you can change anything, but what would you say to that person?
I would have told Donnie no. Anything he asked in 2024.
You can't tell it to Donnie.
I think would have said no.
I think that involves all of us.
Jessica's like all of us are on that train.
Wait,
If we go back to January, we would say, just tell Donnie no.
All of you guys, what would you think?
I'm sitting right here. You can hear me, right? Oh.
I would tell myself to tell Donnie no. That makes sense to me, Peyton. That actually answered the question. She might not like my answer, but that was an accurate answer.
We're going to hot seat you more then, Stevie. So you have a new job. My truck just turned off. I'm going to have to turn it back on here in a second. But you know that you're getting a new job.
Yes.
Now you know that. You didn't know that in January 2024. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your January 2024 self?
Don't start projects you're not going to finish.
Good one.
Because there are two things that I started in 2024. If I had known that going into 2025, I would have a new job, I wouldn't have spent the money and done the investment because they're going to go nowhere.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to jump out of my back seat, get in my front seat, turn my truck back on, and then come back. But y'all can keep talking. Go ahead. You're allowed to keep talking while I talk.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Thank you, Alison, for letting us know how we can run our show.
I'm here. Like, I want the best SCN member ever. No.
For me, it would 100% been automate. I think I talked about automating a lot of things on the front end of the business. but I didn't actually do the work to research how, what, and to make it all work. So I feel like I was sitting on it all year long, but we're now finally actually getting ready to pull the trigger on some huge automations. So, but I think I was also a little gun shy on some automations too, because of getting burned so damn bad. You know, you lose $100,000 and you get a little gun shy on things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For me, I would tell myself to batten down the hatches and to really dial in on who you want to work with sooner. Now that I've got that figured out, 2025 is looking really good, but 2024 could have been a lot better had I figured it out earlier.
Yeah. Mine would probably be, but mine is always stop thinking so much. I mean, I literally have a sign up here that says, hold on, I need to overthink this. But that's kind of my motto of stop thinking and just move forward kind of thing.
Jessica's amazing at crafting all these crazy stories in her head. Oh, Peyton, what about you? I know you're sitting back there.
Mine would end up being very similar to Bernie's and just figuring out what direction my company needs to go in. If I could tell them, I would just tell them the direction I'm in now and see if that one works out, because who knows, if I keep chasing it, it might change again. It's my first year in business and I'm just trying to make money in any way I can. So if anything is out there that might pay me, I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll try it. Let's see what happens. And I'm like, all right, see if there's other people that want to do that as well. And so just take it and run. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
That was actually advice that Donnie, you gave me when I talked to you right after I joined SCN, and you were like, say yes to everything. It's your first year. Say yes to absolutely everything. So
business
doing it right.
out. Yep.
So what did you discover from asking us all this question?
Now that I've asked all you, okay, so I would go back to January 25, I would say you're going to work your ass off. You're going to build the business that you think you want. It's going to go really well. And then you're going to decide in December of 2024 that you don't want it anymore. Yep. You're going to start from scratch in January 2025. Yep. I wouldn't go from scratch. But to end that, it would be, but build it anyway. Because you can't have the business you want in January 2025 without the business and the lessons you learned all through 2024. So I don't look at 2024's business as a waste of time, and Bernie and Peyton, you won't either. Like, it wasn't a waste because of all the things that you learned, the lessons, the skills, everything that are going to pay off in 2025. So, excuse me, I'm feeling verklempt. So again, when I came on last time, I was on the verge of breaking out with my one-on-one business management services, and in my opinion, crazy goal was 10K months. And I hit them, and I hit them again, and I hit them again. And then I went on a 2-week road trip in the RV with the Fam Jam, and I realized that I created little monsters out of my clients. I did exactly what I wanted. I built a business where I had 4 clients that literally couldn't run their business without me. And then I went on a 2-week vacation, and I realized they didn't run their businesses without me. And I came back to, even though I did launches ahead of time, like I set them up. They didn't do anything without me because I wasn't there to hold them accountable. Even though they had their Trello board, I wasn't like, hey, there's a red on our Trello board. Why is there a red? You didn't cross off your to-do, right? And I was like, this is not sustainable. Not only is it not scalable, I can't sustain this. I want a life. And if I can't breathe and go somewhere with my family, 2 weeks is a bit excessive, but still, I can't do this. So I fired 2 of the clients that were not good fits. I kept 2. Integrity-wise, I cannot raise my rates on them. I've been with them long enough, and I adore them, and I love them, and I just, like, it doesn't feel right to me to be like, well, if I want to make more money, I'll just raise my rates on these 2. So now I'm like, what's next? Like, what am I going to go up to? And then Bernie and I, we did this workshop together at the end of November, which is teaching people how to use AI to do business management. So instead of me being your business manager, I'm going to teach you how to use AI to be your business manager, so that it brings that need that so many solopreneurs have but can't afford. They can't afford a retainer, but can they afford that? So now I'm moving into 2025 with this crazy idea of launching a group program, and I'm scared to death because I've never done anything like this before. I'm a control freak. The reason I like one-on-one is because I control a lot of the outcome, right? When you coach other people, you have to trust that they're going to do what, like, you're going to have to trust them. And so I don't know if any of y'all have experience with group programs or transitioning to, well, I know, Donnie, I know your story. So you've transitioned to a whole new business model, but like, this is completely uncharted territory for me. And I'm nervous because I can't afford to have it not work out. Like, I wrecked the business I built that was working so that I could do something else.
Okay, couple of questions. One, well, statement first. Everybody will build 5 to 7 businesses before they figure out which business is actually going to run.
Yep.
Right. That's normal. It's just how it plays out. Second thing, with the new business idea that you're thinking about doing, are you solving broke people's issues?
As in, I'm solving people's issues. Are the people I'm solving issues for broke? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, because that's not my target audience. It's people that need business management, which is not broke people. It's people that are already successful, but they're overwhelmed.
Okay. I think you really need to get that through your head, because the way you first explained it is where the people that couldn't afford a business manager, that's broke people.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. So you need to figure out very hardcore, who are you solving this for? And if you tell me solopreneurs, you're likely solving the wrong issue.
Yeah.
Because you're selling to broke people.
Okay. Okay.
And when you want to make rich people money, solve rich people problems.
Okay. Good advice.
Right. We all have this save the world complex where we just want to fucking help everybody because nobody fucking helped us. Right. It's the most disgusting, beautiful thing in the world because it's a surefire way to go fucking broke in business. Right. So even for us, our primary ICP for Success Champions continues to shift towards a more seasoned clientele. So to not focus on the solopreneurs, even though we picked up some beautiful souls along the way. But we've seen also what that's cost us in building the business. Right. And as far as people doing the work, not your problem. If you build a business dependent on them actually doing the things that they need to do, it's also a surefire way to go broke, because the 80-20 rule always will come into effect. You need to bet on the 20%, knowing that if you bring 100 people together, only 20% of them are going to do the work. And that number is going to continue to evolve however far you push them.
That's also why in group programs, you have to be very, very careful about what you promise, what you guarantee, what you say happens, because honestly, it's on them. It's not on you. You're going to give them tools. You're going to give them teaching, but they have to do it. They have to implement it. They have to use it. And so I've also seen some entrepreneurs go broke because they promise that all of their stuff works and all of these things, and then they get stuck in these contracts that people are like, well, I haven't hit what you told me I would hit yet, so you got to keep working with me. You got to keep working with me. And that's another way to go broke in a group program, is to have too long a contract and something that they hold you to. That always has to be thought process in your group program, is what your contracts look like and what your guarantees look like.
And you got to go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just going to take it back to your advice on how are you going to grow it to where you don't get burnt out and to where you have that freedom for 2025. Because a lot of times what happens is you start a business, you get going, and then you're doing every single little thing. Your clients need you. How are you going to build a support team around you so you can implement this? So if you want to go on that 2-week vacation, you can go and not worry about it.
Is that an actual question or a rhetorical question?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I mean, how I did it was I took my least favorite jobs and outsourced those first. So bookkeeping, number one. I like looking at the numbers. I do not like doing the numbers. So that was like the first thing I ever got rid of when I first started my business. So what are those things that you don't like to do that you can hand off and you're okay handing off, because we know we all like to control stuff. But if we bring in the right people, it's going to help us in the long run.
Yeah. And I have a VA who's done a lot. And that's kind of what happened with the client work. Doing all the client work, I started giving her a lot of things that I was absorbing, that I was like, this is not worth my time, but I can train her to do it for me. And so she's been absorbing a lot of some of the client work, and it's really good because she's learning skills that then she's also doing for my business, which has been excellent. But to that point, and this is actually back when we had our first call, Bernie talked about sort of creating this whole thing where you like contract out various things. And this is not Bernie's fault. However, I got screwed on one of those opportunities. One of my clients needed Facebook ads, and I was like, I don't know them. I don't want to learn them. So I went through a referral or whatever, and I found somebody, and it didn't work out. She charged me a lot of money. The ad didn't perform, and my client wasn't happy. My bank account wasn't happy. And I was like, well, it could have, Facebook ads are such a variable. It's not necessarily anybody's fault, but I was like, I was so burned by that. I was like, I don't ever want to offer a service that I can't do myself. Like, if I don't know that I can deliver on it, I don't want to contract it out. I don't want to give it to anybody else because that's my reputation on the line. And so there's like this bit of me that got burned. But that's also what's led to this whole thing of like, I went away on a trip and I ended up with 4 people that were literally like, well, you were gone, so we didn't do anything while you were gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, y'all ran business before me.
Well, you're going to go through that, though. I don't know how many contractors I went through as a business before I landed on my team core people that I use. If I don't do ads or anything with my web design business, I will hand those out to someone that is trusted, that I know is in mine. So it's not attached to my name. The client gets to make the choice if they want to work with this person or not.
Yeah, I did it in-house. I white labeled the person, and it was not a good decision. That was one of those lessons I learned in 2020.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to make sure that you know and vet whoever it is that you're going to outsource to. I mean, it sounds like it went through people that you knew, but it just ultimately didn't perform. But that's an important piece to keep in mind, right? You want to make sure that it's somebody that you can trust, that's going to execute and do the things that they say they're going to do. But ads are a tough thing to get any guarantee around, right? So, you took the risk and white labeled it and put it out there. But to Jessica's point, that's something that you say, I'm not doing this myself. If you want to do this, this is the resource that I've curated for you.
Yeah, that's noted.
Yeah. You don't want to put your own money at risk in a situation like that.
Yeah. So, Allison, with this new business idea, how many people who would be ideal clients have you talked to about, do they want this? And is this something they're looking for?
Well, and that's part of what I'm, been trying to put my toe in the water to see what the interest is. And when Bertie and I did the event, the interest was extremely high. I had over 200 registrants. We had 45 people show up to the event, and the feedback I got was phenomenal. People loved it.
Were the 45 ideal client profiles?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know, because I don't know them all personally. Like, so I started doing follow-up calls, getting on calls. But here to your point, the trouble I run into is that when I get on a call with somebody, and it's supposed to be kind of like a sales call to like sell them into a program, but then I just go ahead and I solve their damn problem. And then they don't need to buy into anything I had because I answered their question and I solved their problem. Like, the workshop I did was really awesome, and I solved a lot of problems. I'm not good.
If you're solving problems in a 1-hour phone call, it's not the ICP you're talking to, because that means you're teaching people to do all the work, and likely those aren't people. Those are DIYers, right? You need the people that need your overall services. Not just going to do it yourself. Now, unless you're going to do a low dollar community and sell to broke people and you're going to go for volume.
No, that's not the plan.
Right. So remember, you've got to be able to. So what you're looking for potentially is the entrepreneur that has a VA that doesn't know how to do all this, and they're going to do all the work for the entrepreneur potentially. Like, you need to start thinking more on scale. So if you're jumping on these calls and magically you've solved all their problems, you're talking to broke people.
Okay, that's a good point.
That
Right.
and maybe your problem isn't big enough that
Yeah.
you're solving.
Mhm.
So if you can solve it in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
that problem
Well,
isn't
yeah,
big
I
enough.
mean, it's not 5 minutes, but honestly, it's just one of those things where a lot of times I feel like I'm just unlocking a tool, like I'm unlocking ChatGPT for them, and I show them the capabilities, and I give them some, here's how you can do this, here's how you can do that, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, and it's what happened to me. People unlocked the world of AI to me, and now I'm obsessed with it, and I'm learning so much. But I also, for me, I've invested in a coach that's teaching me things that I am then teaching to others. You know what I mean? So
Is the coach teaching you how to build an AI business? Or are
not
they teaching you
intentionally.
AI? Yeah.
She's teaching me AI, and I'm taking it and I'm trying to apply it to the business that I already do, because quite frankly, I
So
don't
what
want to
companies are then looking for AI services?
what companies aren't looking for AI services?
Oh, several.
Oh, I was gonna
Several.
say, I feel like everyone is. I don't know
No.
anyone who's not.
You're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. We hear about it all day long, so
Yeah.
it's hot. But
Corporate?
nah, corporate, not at all.
Well,
Right?
that's fine. I don't want to work with corporate. It's like,
Who do you want to work with?
Well,
that's
who do you want to work with?
who's my ICA? I don't like, technically my ICA is still who it is now, but not like, because I don't want to implement anymore. That's the part that's killing me, is that I'm working with business owners that are already making 6 figures. They're looking to hit $500,000 in revenue, right? And to y'all, that may be broke for you, but that ain't broke to me. Like, that's the one making
No,
money.
the good client. My question is, what AI problem are you solving?
Automations, strategy.
You're too generic,
Okay.
right? What specific AI problems are you solving? So, real talk, what we're building out right now.
Yeah.
How do I AI and automate my entire business development? Right? Solve that issue. We figured it out and we're building it right now.
Mhm.
But you can't go into anything that you're selling, and I'm not saying you're going generic, but you're solving a very broad issue.
Mhm.
What specific issues are you going to tackle?
Well, the way that I'm setting the program up, and I don't know if this answers the question or not, but this is a really good way to share it and find out. So as a business manager, I've come up with my 4-step framework where I walk people through 4 phases. I help them strategize, scale, optimize, sustain. And then we come back to strategize so we can scale, so we can optimize, sustain. And we cycle through these 4 phases as we grow their business. And so the idea of the program is to literally create what I would consider a digital business manager that helps them walk through those 4 phases. And I give them GPTs, and I give them prompts, and I give them AI tools in each of those phases, so that if I were their business manager, I would be doing those things for them. But instead, I'm teaching them how to make AI do those things for them.
What does that get them?
It gets them the power and the strategic insight to help them make decisions with confidence, and then actually implement those things faster and more effectively, which is what I do for my clients now. So, like, for instance, Black Friday, right? I did 3 launches out of 4 clients. I did 3 launches for Black Friday. But if they had a quote unquote digital business manager, they would have used the strategic or the strategy GPT that I create for them. That's their business. It's not a generic GPT. It's tailored to their business to strategize what that Black Friday deal should be. Then they would have gone ahead and had ChatGPT help them plan out their very specific launch. And then they would have had ChatGPT help them write those emails, write that ad copy, write all the things that I help, and then schedule it, and then launch it, and then write. So it would have been all those, all the pieces that I do would have been AI driven.
Alison.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy that.
Oh. Okay.
They're hiring you because they don't want to do it. And
Yep.
so
they don't have the time.
Okay,
and they don't want to play with
Ever.
AI
that's the
to be
thing.
able to do
I
it.
also don't want to be the
So there's a
still
solution. There's a solution
implementing.
in there, though. There's a solution in there.
Do
Why
tell.
don't you build the GPTs for them and sell them the fucking GPTs?
Because they need to learn how to use them.
Well, that's what you teach them.
Well,
Right.
you
Well,
build
that's
it-
what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. People would come in and I would custom have everything. I mean, I would template it, but then I would customize everything. So that
That's a lot of one-on-one work. How is
Mhm.
that? How is
Because
that
if I-
going away from
why
what
I'm
you're
giving
doing?
if it's inside a group container. So this is my idea, right? So let's say 10 people come in, right? And 10 people come into my Be Your Own Boss Better boot camp, right? And I teach them, we're going to learn how to strategize using ChatGPT. And I bring up the GPT and I start using it with them. And then based on their results, I then teach them how to go into the GPT itself and how to customize what just happened, so that now that GPT has held on to everything for their business, right? And so I am not physically tweaking every single person's GPT to make it individual. I have my templated one. They come in as a group, each of them on their own screen uses the GPT. I walk them through it. I feedback for them live. And then I say, great, with all that information we just got, here's how you now customize that GPT so it always works for Success Champion Network. So it always works for, you know what I mean? For Insignia training. And then we move on to implementing and they get feedback, they get coaching. And then the next week we do the
You're
next.
solving broke people's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you're going to get is solopreneurs who don't have a business at all. And they're like, Chat GPT is going to solve my problems.
Yeah. So what a group format is for the DIYers.
Mhm.
That is the group format. What you're wanting. So you're trying to market to two different markets. Your first market are the people that don't want to do it at all. And so they hire you to do it. Your
Right.
group format is going to be your DIYers that are on a budget that don't have the money to hire you to be
Right.
that
But
specialist.
that's exactly what I'm kind of going for. If I have 2 clients that pay me to do it, and then I have 10 people in a program that I'm teaching and they're DIYing it, but those 10 people are coming up with the income that it would.
Would the 2 clients that are currently paying you switch to this service?
Say that again?
Would the 2 people that are currently paying you switch
No.
to the service you're trying to sell?
No way.
Then why sell to 2 different markets?
Because it's
Why
two
not
different
just get more of the people you
It's
want?
2 different products. Because I don't want to be implementing anymore. I'm trying to solve the problem that I don't want 4 to 5 one-on-one clients where I do the thing.
Beautiful.
I
I
gotta
love
come up with
that.
something else.
I love that. And I think
Okay.
that's really smart.
Yeah.
Why
think-
not create a team of Alisons?
That's exactly what I was going to say is why not
Because
have
Truth be
5 or
told,
6 VAs that you train how to do the things that you do, and they are the ones that hold accountability with the client, and you are then only working with the 5 or 6 VAs that you've trained how to do this process. That's how you ultimately scale, because the value of what you're doing
yeah.
is in the hands-on, it is in the accountability, it is in doing the things. That's why your clients are paying
The
you.
sell is everybody gets their Alison.
Right.
The biggest thing I see when entrepreneurs start hiring contractors is they hire this one contractor, and I think that this one contractor can do every single thing that you can do. But in reality, you need about 5 different contractors. You need to break down what you do into specific projects. So you need to break down what you do into a system, break it down into sections, and have a contractor for each of those. So when I build websites, I have my designer, I have my SEO person, I have my developer, I have my project manager. So it takes a whole team to build a whole website
Which is
system.
an agency model, but I don't want an agency model because the responsibility level of paying all those people's salaries, that's a lot. I'm a year and a half into this. I'm not ready for it.
Do you really want a scaled business?
I'm not even looking to necessarily scale so much as to get to 10K months without being to a point where I can't take a break.
You're not hiring all 5 people at once. you're hiring it out one piece at a time. You're getting that geared in, then you're bringing in the next person. It's a bunch of layers to get to that point. You don't have to say, okay, now we have a team of 6 and we have to figure out how everyone works together and collaborates. Do it one piece at a time throughout the year, so it's not that stressful and it's geared in.
So I love the 10K months. I think that's a really, really good number to hit. How many people are going to be in this group program to hit 10K?
I would only need 5.
So you're expecting 5 people to spend $2,000 a month on an AI solution?
No, they're spending $1,000 a month because I have 2 clients that pay me. So I'm getting $5,000 from 2 clients. And then if I have 5 people in this program paying $1,000 a month for 3 months, and then I launch again. And so the idea would be a quarterly launch. So that would be the 10.
You're now battling, I can hire 2 VAs for $500 a month to do a whole lot of shit for me that I don't still have to do myself.
I also then, to that point though, I need to maintain clients. What happens when this is the other thing I'm afraid of, is having a client drop out. You know what I mean? Have like, well, I'm making 10K months and I have a current VA. If I had 2, so I'm paying 3 VAs or whatever to do this stuff. And then I have a client that says, I want to end my contract. Well, now I gotta, now I just lost a quarter of my income. Yeah. And I've got to pay these people because I'm like, again, integrity wise, I can't be like, sorry, I don't have any work for you this month, so I'm not paying you. Like, I can't roll like that. So there's a level of cushion protection that I want to put in place.
Well, the question you need to ask, do you want to build a company or do you want to build a lifestyle for yourself?
A lifestyle.
Then quit thinking about this whole group thing. And the only reason I say that is if 10 grand's a number, cool. Let's go get 4 clients at $2,500 a month.
Right, but that's what I had, and that's what I can't do anymore.
But you had okay. Then let's go get 3 clients at freaking $3,500 a month. Let's go get 2 clients at $5,000 a month. Let's go build the business to the ideology that you want to live, because the answer to otherwise scaling is to bring on the staff, bring on the thing, and bring on the work. Because you are not duplicatable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to shift the clientele to go after bigger clientele. You can do a group program, but to do $1,000 group program, I don't think the concept is there yet.
Okay.
Right? I don't think you're solving a big enough problem.
Yeah, not for that price point. Especially because, again, with a group program, as it sounds, as you've described it, for what I understand of it at this moment, you are teaching them how to DIY it.
Yeah.
And in that case, anybody who's at the DIY stage isn't going to probably pay more than maybe $250, $300 a month.
Well, but see, I disagree because I'm a solopreneur and I'm paying that. I've invested a hell of a lot more than that. In
a group program or in a coach?
Both. My current AI, the woman who's teaching me AI, who ended up becoming one of my best clients myself.
Do you know the difference in what she's selling, what you're trying to sell?
Mm-mm.
She's selling the shovels, the axe picks, the how-to.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't selling the business side of it. She's
Right.
selling the how-to. So for you, she doesn't need her stuff to actually work for you. She just needs to teach you concepts, and you go deploy concepts. What you're selling is now you have to sell things that actually get real results for people.
Yeah,
right.
It's 2 different complete sales.
Mm-hmm.
Like teaching you AI, it doesn't have to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a knowledge transfer.
Mm-hmm.
You're selling something that's step A to C, and it better return a profit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's 2 completely different sales. Right. Go ahead, Bernie.
Yeah, I kind of think you can still do a webinar workshop format, but as opposed to selling a longer term, multi-month type program, you said yourself you're getting on some calls now and solving their problem in a few minutes. Maybe it is kind of a higher level workshop, a 1 and done, or a 2 workshop series, and you're cycling through at a higher volume. Because
that's an interesting play.
Yeah, because I think what we're saying here, or what I'm hearing from everybody, is that the longer term play with these folks may not make sense because they want you to do it, right? And that's kind of the feel that we all have. But if it's people who are interested in doing it yourself, there is, as my dad would say, an ass for every seat. There is an opportunity to sell them that knowledge that you have. And again, maybe it's just one course, maybe it's a 2-course, and I teach you my 5 concepts.
Yeah.
Then you go and apply them. Now, if you want some additional coaching afterwards, no problem. That's $150 an hour, and you sign up as necessary.
I love that. If you did a workshop that was, hey, for $2,000, I'll spend 2 to 4 hours teaching you all this AI stuff of how to automate and do your front end. Additional consulting services would cost this on the back end. Now you'd focus all your time and energy to find people that will pay $2,000 to come to those workshops, or $1,000 to come to those workshops. Now you only need 10 people in those workshops every month.
You know, because here's the real story, Allison. We put 200 people raise their hands for your webinar, right? And then you had 40 people show up. So that's 40 people that took 2 steps to say, I'm interested in the stuff that you're doing. Now, out of those 40 people, if you can get 5 of them, right, barely over 10%, to sign up at $1,000 a piece or $2,000 a piece, right, they are interested in that. That's not a really hard sell, in my opinion.
Yeah, but so we did that. And then I had only 5 people sign up for the $50 VIP session with me. So
Wrong
they did
people in the room.
Wrong people in the room. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yep. So now you got to fine tweak the system. Cool. How do I get the right people in the room? And that's going to come with the right language. What actual problem are you solving for people that can afford $1,000 workshop? Like, think about your business. What would you pay for $1,000 to attend a workshop or a webinar that would solve a real-time problem for you right now? And it might be a workshop on how to fill a workshop with the right people that can afford $1,000, right?
Probably would.
Right. So, but that's what you got to think about is how do I get the right butts in the right seats?
Okay.
Right. Because otherwise it's just too low of a problem to solve for people that are broke. Now, maybe there's some, go to perplexity.ai and go, okay, what are some larger AI issues I can solve for companies? And maybe that puts some words and phrases in there that you can put into a workshop format where here's how to, I don't know, lead gen on freaking LinkedIn or something, right? Where there's a real higher need and necessity that you could build stuff for it.
I mean, what were the problems that you were solving in the short calls from the people who did attend the workshop, right?
Well, ironically, several of them didn't even freaking need AI. They needed Trello. I mean, they were at that point where they're coming to me, and one gentleman in particular, he was like, I have a team of 6 people, and they're doing like bookkeeping and financial stuff. And he's like, I never know who's working on what. I never know what. I'm constantly chasing people down. And I was like, well, where's your project management system? How are you tracking who's been assigned? And he's like, I don't. He said emails, and I was like, "Frickin' A, no, you need Trello, right?" And I told him
nothing about AI in that.
Yeah,
nothing about AI in that at all. Like, he didn't need AI.
So you're emotional about AI because it's new, fun, and exciting.
Yeah.
But you could be literally sitting on a gold mine of how to build a project management system inside your company.
Yeah.
And then talk specifically to that guy's pain points. Have 5 or 6 employees don't know who's doing what. See if you can fill a workshop on that idea alone.
Oh, starting from scratch, y'all.
It's not starting from scratch. You've already got everything.
I had.
Right? It's not starting from scratch. You've already got everything.
But no, I don't. I have the whole thing for the AI workshop done. I'd have to start all over with new slides, and new script, and new plan, and new marketing, and new emails.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. You can take what you've already done and you've already designed, and you could try it, right? I mean, you can go that route. You know, this is just our right outsider opinion looking at what you've said so far, going, not sure it makes sense to us. Not sure we think that there's a market for it. Doesn't mean that there isn't, that we just don't know, right? So if you want to go try that, I think back to one of Donnie's first things that he says, and he says this to everybody, you're going to build more than one business along the way, right? So if you're feeling super passionate about AI and you want to try that, go for it. What we're saying is we think there are other things you could do and other ways you could design it that might be more profitable quicker. So, but that's still up to you. But I think that's the point, right? Like when you are deciding, hey, I want to do something new, all of us, when we said, hey, we want to do something new, we had no clue if it was going to work. If we did, we would just start with the original idea and we wouldn't have to go through 17 versions.
Right? Exactly.
So this is just us saying, hey, maybe there's other things you could think about, or maybe there's other things you want to do. But that doesn't, you know, if you've already put the time and effort and you're like, oh my gosh, but I've already got this all planned out, then give it a shot. But if only 10 people sign up and you don't make money, then in 3 months, cut it and do something else. Don't wait another year to figure it out.
Yeah.
100%. So we've hit you with a lot of things, you know, thrown some things at you. I'm kind of curious, Allison, what are some of your biggest takeaways from this today?
Oh, not to go on a hot seat on SCN 6 freaking a.m. in my truck. That's one. I'm not cold anymore. I'll tell you that. Gosh, biggest takeaways. I guess to your point, don't solve broke people problems. Like really thinking about the ICA of who I'm targeting. And again, I feel like there are solopreneurs making $1 million. So I'm not necessarily not a solopreneur thing. But just to really rethink who the target audience is and what their problems are that they want to solve. And as much as I don't want to solve the I'll do it for you problem, that's the problem people pay me for, and figuring that out. And I don't like that answer. I'm just not going to lie. I don't like it.
Well, I think you're right. I think you need to think about your messaging and who you're talking to. How do I get those solopreneurs that have built the lifestyle they want, but are looking for an additional tweak and the likes with the services you are offering?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, Allison, we're due for another talk for your upcoming event. I have a couple of ideas as well that we'll talk through.
So I would challenge you to try and I would challenge you to try and do a how to build your project management system workshop. Just to see what it does in comparison with the workshop you just did, strictly as a test. So
that's not
all right. Awesome, kid. What events do we have coming up? Anything coming down the pipes? Stevie, I know you got a play coming up.
We got to play, but not until February 7th. So we got some time. So nothing right now. Technically, I have this week off. This is the only thing on my calendar.
Nice. Not me. I am booked through.
Good for you.
I'm booked through. So,
yeah, I've got no events this week or next week. I think the next one I have on my calendar, actually, Allison, is with you at the end of the month. Yeah.
I don't know who LinkedIn user is, but sure.
It's a good answer for me. And to whoever said about moving to Texas, yeah, listen, y'all, that's February, March-ish. Fingers crossed. If Joel can get a job.
Very cool.
What kind of job is he looking for?
I don't know. I was helping him with his resume this weekend. He's an industrial. He's an account rep for an industrial sales company.
Allison, go visit the industrial peer group, which is run by Phil Chelf.
Yeah, we've talked. I already begged my husband to let me give him his resume. And he's like, just one step at a time, Allison. I just made the resume, one step at a time. And I'm like, but I know people.
She just sounded like Elf. Santa, I know him.
I know him. My husband is methodical. I'm like, jump right in head first. We'll figure it out. He's slower.
We always marry our opposites.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, y'all have an amazing, awesome week. Of course, we got the Badass Business Summit coming up September 17th through the 19th here in Fort Worth. That will sell out quickly. We're going to start really getting after it coming Monday. So to start promoting that out and getting that all dialed in. So have an amazing, awesome week. We're here every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, sitting around trying to solve people's problems, helping people from the backseat of their trucks. And that didn't sound good at all.
Let's not say that again.
Y'all go have an amazing, awesome week. Love you. Mean it. See you. Bye.
Happy New Year, guys.